Right.
is I'm going to be. We
No.
should.
So is that, is
I would
that
like to.
1985, is that the
So you
C60?
put that on the top.
No, it's
Yep.
a 7,000, GMC 7,000.
Oh, it's a 7, because it's an 85, it's a
Yeah.
7,000.
7,000.
Thank you.
Is that a, that's a tanker, isn't it?
It's an engine. Pumper.
It was a pumper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be with you guys in a second. It's 5:29 on our clocks, and I do have a quorum here, but I'm waiting for Councilman Howard.
He's only got one arm to fly in. So
Nope, he's out.
is he out?
He's out. That's why
Oh,
he said he
shoot.
could go climb underneath the house.
He had to learn how to fly again.
I show 5:30, everybody. Same with you guys?
Yep.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is 5:30, and we will call the order of the meeting for Choteau City Council for July the 12th, 2022. Those present will stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Oh. Little housekeeping here. For those out watching here tonight, here currently at the City Hall are Councilwoman Piccoli, Councilman Merjek, Councilman Diakos, Clerk Rogers, Deputy Clerk Frauenfelter, Levi Wareheim from our wastewater operator, and Sean Jamison, utility building clerk. And is there anybody else out in, nobody else is out in,
Not on the, no.
in Cyberland, so, okay. First item on the agenda would be the minutes, approval of the minutes of the city council meeting of 21 June.
I move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Councilman D with the motion to approve. And Councilman Merja with a motion second. Any changes or corrections to the minutes?
Call the question.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is stand approved. Let's move on to item 2, approval of minutes from our special council meeting of June 24th. This was for our street closures.
Move approval of the minutes.
Councilman D again with the motion.
Second.
Councilman Merja with the second as well. That was relatively simple. Any other questions or concerns on this one? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. They stand approved as well. Anybody leaving the state?
This is our only meeting this month, right?
This is our only meeting this month.
No.
Councilman Coley, heading out?
Yep.
Saddle it up and ride, pony ride? You do? All right. We have no old business to address. Under our new business, our first item would be resolution 889, which is our salary and compensation for city officials and employees.
I move approval of resolution number 889.
I have a motion from Councilman D for approval.
I will second that motion.
Councilman Merger with a second. Comments, questions, concerns?
So my understanding is that this is, excuse me, Councilman Mojo. This is a 5% increase for most, and then a 50% raise for parks folks. Is that accurate? More or less?
It-
5%.
It's $1 an hour for
Dollar.
$1 an hour for Jody and Mike,
Okay.
and then 5% for
Okay.
the remainder short Shauna, if I'm not correct. Or did Shauna's balance out 5% as well? Okay, yours just happened to come up on an even number, I guess.
Actually, it was 98.99 cents.
As I look through it, you know, we've had, Shauna's position was part-time in the past, so truly, from a salary standpoint, it's about a $20,000 increase in salaries.
And this doesn't change ours or yours for the fire
No.
chief, right?
Nope.
Good. Don't tell me what if I said that.
It's, I want a little mayoral privilege here to say something.
We are in the discussion period.
I look at the newspaper every week at the jobs that are out there that are open. And it's the same employers, same after same after same after week, looking for people. I'm very proud of our staff and what they do, both here at City Hall and under Mike's direction. Saturday night found me out pulling manhole covers, looking at, you know, potential blocked sewer lines, and reached out to Dave. He was on call. He came down. BJ had to come down as well, and he came in to help us out. I want those guys to know, I want the public to know, I wouldn't do anything or ask these guys to do anything I wouldn't do myself short of Levi's job. I don't want Levi's job. I don't want to mess around out there.
It's fun.
But when the call goes out, they answer, and they don't hesitate. They don't question it. They rise to the occasion. And, you know, I had a chance to drive the garbage truck over the 4th of July weekend too. So again, nothing, I have nothing but the utmost respect for these guys, and I believe they earn every dollar we pay them.
I'll be honest, a 5% increase in the current climate isn't nearly enough by a few percentage points. And I wish we could find a way. I wish we weren't tapped by the state at how much we can raise, so you can kind of accommodate some of that. I think this is the best that we can do. And I hope, you know, you and I have talked kind of offline a little bit, that let's find ways to compensate these guys the best we can by other means. Let's keep our retention. Our retention rate is pretty damn high in this community. Our public works and our city employees. I'd really like to keep it that way, because there are a lot of job opportunities, work from home or otherwise, that our very well-trained staff could jump into pretty easily. But you know, Choteau is a pretty great community, which is a perk in and of itself. I just, yeah, put that out there.
Councilman Merja?
Do we only do annual raises? I mean, is that what we're held to by the state?
No,
By the
just
state,
by our
we
budget.
there's raises for you pass your water test, if you pass your sewer test, things like that.
If you upgrade your accreditations,
Okay.
would be my best way of saying that.
So we can give incentivized
Yeah.
raises as well. Good.
There is the 25-cent longevity every 5 years as well.
Good. We tend to keep people. But I don't want us to take advantage of that. I don't want us to ever take advantage of that just because somebody has stuck around, that we take them for granted. And I think we've so far done a good job of that. I think retention proves that out. So, but we need to continue to take care of them and to let you guys, all of you guys know how much we appreciate you and what you do for this community. And we're not in this office. We're not frontline staff. I do work frontline staff somewhere else, so I get it. And I know a little bit of what you go through every day. And I guess what I would have to say to our community is let's do better. Let's treat each other with dignity and respect, even when it's frustrating, even when it's hard. And when you're in here, please remember that these people are just doing their jobs. And they didn't necessarily make the decision that makes you uncomfortable. One of your neighbors did, or your councilman did, or your mayor did. If you want to be upset at somebody, come talk to me. I said, I'll take that on. So again, thank you to our staff for all you do and for making Choteau the place that it is to live in.
Councilwoman Capoli.
Got nothing. Wait, my candy.
I shouldn't have done this. This one's. This
It
right
was a
there.
little hot.
Cinnamon
Little
over
hot.
here.
Well, I got raspberry and it was
They're very sweet.
So, any questions comments from anyone else? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
We'll pass 2-1. Item 2, vote on fire department request to declare engine 2 surplus property.
Move approval of the request.
Councilman D. Motion to approve or to. Yep. This is the old 1985 GMC 7000. Do I have a
I
second?
guess to discuss it, I've got a second.
Yes.
right? I'll second.
Second from Councilman Major.
So on declaring something surplus property, that just gives them the option to then sell it for bid, right?
We have to advertise.
Yep.
It goes through a process.
Okay,
So we have to advertise and then put it in the paper and I would assume I will do sealed bids on this one.
okay.
And is there a reason we don't do, and maybe this is off the topic if I am, Mr. Mayor, if you call me on it. Is there a reason we don't do like publicsurplusauction.com or something like that? To put them out there or?
Because it costs us money.
Okay.
And this way, if we do it in-house, the fire department will receive the
Well,
benefit.
we can put it out on the listserv, for the mayor's listserv
Yeah.
and the clerk's listserv as well.
Yeah, we talked about sending it to surplus property in Helena, but they take a pretty good chunk of it.
Sure.
So I don't know, I don't know what they expect to get out of this, but with the addition of the new engine, this one was no longer needed. And by surplusing it out, it gets them another additional space in the barn. All functional equipment and stuff, hoses and things like that have been removed from it,
Mhm.
the lettering and that, so it'll go out as basically a vehicle. We would put it in the hands of the fire chief. I'd sit down with the chief, we'd put together the advertisement to get out in the paper. How long it would sit out there, it's got to run twice through the paper. And then whether or not they want to do open bids or if we'll do the open bids at our August meeting. I'm betting it'll end up at our August meeting that we'll end up doing the opening bids. Any additional questions?
I call the question.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This one will get, I'll sit down with Chief Funk.
The next one, Chris, it should be pay request number 4, not 3. I would,
Item 3 would be vote on pay request number 4, Boland Construction wastewater. The last day for them is scheduled for 29 July, if I'm not mistaken.
And so that's when they're scheduled to be done. Is that when they were slated to be done from the beginning?
I think so.
Okay,
I move approval of pay request number 4.
I'll second.
Councilman D with the motion and Councilwoman Coley with the second. As we discussed this, I want to say thanks to those guys. They were out late last night. It was 20 to 7, almost 7 o'clock when I was up on the north end side of town, and they were still working. Bruce said that they wanted to get that prepared so that they could be down as little as possible up there moving when they were working with the water line. So thank them for doing that and making sure that they got that taken care of, only to have them clip a water line on the other end of town, or the other end of the project today instead. So
um,
I heard an
I'm going through it again. I feel like I had another question. So this is just a pay request, this is just the standard pay request,
Yeah.
like, there's no changes?
No.
Okay. That was it.
That would be a different line item.
Yeah,
That's what I thought, okay.
they have requested some, but we've denied them. They've had some change requests that they've asked for. And
Okay.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We will get that taken care of as well. Item 4 is a vote on draw request number 1 for the water project. And normally we would not see something like this. But what was the best way we wanted to explain this, Jody? I can,
Well, Lynette sent this to me and I hadn't seen it yet. She said, you know, you could put this on the agenda, but really, we've already approved these claims. All this is a grant funding request. We've
oh,
already paid these. Everything that's on here, we have already paid.
so this is our reimbursement.
All this is a reimbursement request. You guys normally would not have this on the agenda. This is just a matter of reimbursement. You've already approved all these claims.
That's what I thought. as I was reading through it.
So,
Okay,
I move approval of draw request number 1.
I have a motion from Councilman D,
I'll second.
a second from Councilman Coley. Any other questions?
so,
Those in favor?
no, yeah,
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign? Okay. Claims is our next item, item 5 on the list tonight, and there was a lengthy list. These are, correct me if I'm wrong, Jody, these are closing out fiscal year 21-22. Our next set of claims that go out will be 22-23 fiscal year claims.
I move that we pay the bills.
yeah, second,
Motion from Councilman D, second from Councilman Merja.
I asked the mayor about this. I just want to, for
Yeah,
transparency's sake.
I was just about to say that.
I asked him about the kind of big bill for Log Me In. Is that what it was? Is that the right company?
That's our access, our offsite access into our computers.
Mike uses it, so he can do his GIS. and
Yep,
that.
yep.
I don't use it, but all the public works.
And to that point, you know, I'm fairly satisfied with DIS over the past few years since we hired them. Spoke with the mayor, and at some point I'd like to, with your help, Jody, kind of look over what they're billing us for, what services, that kind of stuff, just to make sure that, you know, I'm certainly not at the enterprise level that they are for my technology savvy, but at least have another eye on it, just to really look at what they're charging us for, what services, what programs, that kind of stuff, just to make sure we're getting what we need, so.
well, it's always good to reevaluate every couple of years and make sure that you are still using the products that.
And I believe we are, but that one I think frustrates some people.
Yep.
The ability to log in. Yeah, Jody's rolling around. The ability to log into machines from offsite.
And there's,
So is that not a security issue?
Not
Not with
with
us.
Probably no, but if you could get in, I definitely not, because I can't get logged in.
it's that locked in. Well, and I'm pretty confident in saying that we run Windows Business Class on our machines, which comes with remote desktop inherently. And so looking at other services that take advantage of it that may not cost us quite so much as what we're paying for these licenses, as an example, might be worth evaluating.
I know that we as a community are not alone in the frustration of having remote access to their systems.
Mhm.
Some have extremely easy access. And when we were on the road, I found that, and it almost as like a Google access, and I don't know the level of security.
Well, and that's the question. There's a balance between ease and security, and we need to make sure we're.
It's a very fine
It is.
line.
Yeah,
And you pay for security, and that's.
exactly, no doubt about it, so. Any other questions?
Nope.
Nope.
Those in favor?
I,
Opposed? We will pay the bills. In your report, your your law enforcement report from 31/8. 12 traffic stop, 6 citations, 2 disorderlies, 2 partner family member assaults, and 1 assault, 91 calls for the month of June.
so this does not include 4th of July.
Yeah, that does not include 4th of July, but in chatting with the sheriff's office and folks, I think they said that they were relatively pleased with the level of activity over that holiday stretch.
And this is just in the Choteau city limits.
Correct.
So they had 91 calls in June
Yep,
in the city limits of Choteau.
yes.
Okay. That's,
And that's
they're busy.
in support of EMS, any type of, thing like that. City clerk's report pretty much matches up, 3 stop sign, 2 PFMAs, and 2 disorderly conducts and registration insurance. You can see that Jen's report files almost identical, 5 traffic, 1 PFA, 2 disorderlies. I'm gonna jump ahead because the last one that's attached is Tom. Your list of zoning and building permits. And you can see with the warm weather, the number of folks doing things are picking up. And we have, we've been around town, if you see, I've seen some folks doing stuff and said, hey, by the way, you gotta make sure you get a permit, and
I sent out some letters.
yeah. We are, again, Choteau, you're better off asking about a permit and not needing one than needing one and starting to do work, because it can create issues that present legal challenges not only to you, but to the city as well, so. A quick 5-minute phone call to Tom, Shauna, down here at City Hall, will get you pointed in the right direction. And I know you have more on your plate, don't you, Tom, that are in processing right now, or are you caught up?
Oh, no, there's still more going on.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Nothing from Mike this week.
Mike's been on vacation since last Tuesday, and I must say it was probably a well-needed vacation. He was due for a break. Civil attorney, had a conversation with Caden today on some ongoing litigation concerning Ed Baumgartner and court documents that way. We did get our last bit of our site survey done, certificate of right-of-way for the water project. So I believe we're thumbs up to that, waiting for Colette to give us the okey dokey. We should go to bid soon.
Arden has to approve.
What's that?
I think Arden has to approve
Okay.
the site plan opinion.
But needless to say, all the documents are in. It's just one last approval we go. Jody's got our ending, this is correct, our ending sheets. I was pleased the way we ended up the year, you guys. We did have an opportunity to move some money into our capital improvement plans. Jody, what do you foresee? We have to do any, are we have any budget resolution or nope. All of our line items are there as presented, and
Only real line item that we really struggle with, of course, is food.
yeah, fuel costs, as everybody knows, we're dealing with.
On that point, I do have a question. Again, fairly confident, would need to double check, but fairly confident saying that the state, at least as of Governor Bullock's tenure, had a no idling policy for state vehicles. Do anything like that in place for city vehicles?
Not that I'm aware of.
Just $5.50 a gallon for diesel and coming down.
Items very often.
Yeah. The one thing that does idle is
The dump truck.
the dump, not,
Or,
not
garbage.
garbage trucks, it just
Has-
moves along at an idle, and that creates a bigger issue to us as far as def codes and motor codes, because
Mm,
you're supposed to get it up to speed every so often and blow it all out. Well, we'd have to drive to Great Falls and back at max speeds in order to clear those def codes out of that from time to time when it's not, up the hill to North Montana and back.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it. And that motor, that vehicle does give us grief.
Sure.
With codes all the time. So. Councilman Merja, what do you got for us?
I'm pretty quiet. We did have a bear in our neighborhood 3 weeks ago now. Talked to the bear guys, so the two guys in Choteau were in the backcountry, so I ended up talking to the gentleman in Conrad, and he was gonna pop down with his dog. He was gonna be down the next day or 2 days later. And he said, I'll come down and see if there's any sign or anything. And he said, if you don't hear from me and find anything, if you do hear from me, I'll tell you what I found.
No news is good news.
But we're looking at possible electric fence around the perimeter just to deter it from coming into that portion, into town from that
Part of the river
part
bottom.
of it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was something that the two guys here in Choteau and I had talked about. I think end of April, early May, they were putting an electric fence around a residence yard because the resident has dogs and had heard of the bear that had been in our neighborhood several years ago, and so was concerned for her pet's welfare because they're usually outside by themselves all day, and fish FWP came, put up a bear fence, and they said if we have similar concerns, they'd be happy to come check it out. So
Heard anything uptown?
no.
Councilman D?
On behalf of the chamber, on behalf of the community, 4th of July was just an awesome event this year. In spite of the fireworks being canceled, the rest of the weekend was a lot of big smiles on people's faces, seeing everyone, which I was really happy about. Pretty comfortable weather, which is always nice instead of the scorching heat. Brewfest and the beer garden went very well, and the parade was awesome and very well attended. So I'm just very pleased with how everything went. It was very, very Choteau 4th of July weekend. And then on Chamber and Port Authority news, yesterday was Jen Nassenstein's last day, and I just want to express some deep gratitude for her. She's done immense work in the last 6-7 months while she was in that position. And she's gonna be missed in those roles. So
Has the hunt for Red October begun?
we're figuring that it has
Replacement?
not yet, but we're trying to figure out what that's gonna look like.
Okay.
Through the end of the year.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Councilman Cocoli, how'd the Strophamus do?
The Strophamus did well. We sold out of tickets a couple hours before the actual duck race. We had 900 tickets, so that was good news. Our vendors were all really happy, and
Did you have more space without the Got Grit guys there? Did they spread out a little bit more?
they spread out
I
a
was gonna say,
little
it
bit
seemed like
more,
they
just
spread
because
out.
we could, but, yeah, we never ran out of space. We've
No.
never been short of space,
No.
but we kind of let people spread out a little bit more this year. And we did tell vendors they weren't locked into leaving right at 4. If people start coming to the Brew Fest or to the music, and they still felt like they had good foot traffic, that they were more than happy to stay.
Did they?
Oh, good.
We had good communication with Brian Colesworthy, the Chamber of Commerce, with the food vendors. So everybody knew what everybody else was serving,
Good.
so we didn't overlap or duplicate anything there. The volleyball girls were happy.
Good.
I believe. I didn't have any complaints on my end.
Record turnout for Got Grit, I heard.
Mhm.
I have a question, partially to do with city public property, well, leased property anyway. There was a question about the Seroptimus path and rodeo. Was there any issues this year?
No.
Beautiful.
Okay, good.
Love to hear it.
We'd had,
As far as like people parking on the path or.
The horses
Horses
tearing them
tearing
up
them
and that kind of thing. Okay, good.
I think there was really only that one year.
Okay.
There was some kids riding their horses up and down. And it was wet, and that's why they were on the path, is it was drier and it was still tearing up the path.
I know, anything else for us?
Happy to see that there's some footings going in the wagon wheel hole. That's
Yeah,
kinda-
you and me both. And again, fencing out the large pile of dirt. We were told they were gonna put building in there, and put tools and stuff like that, and all I've really done is fenced off a pile of dirt.
All right,
I guess baby steps over there for that one.
their fence is making me happy, but yeah. Unless I get crushed by that building someday that I'm walking by.
And you do walk by it, I know, I'm going to get the mail, I know you do.
It's fine, it's.
You or
it's
Beeler are gonna
it's-
get,
In motion.
well, I see, speaking of in motion, I see they poured curbs today down at the dollar store. Down there. From my desk, it was a good 4th of July, as far as I was told. I did know that the parade, where were you at for the parade? Were you up by,
Across from Copper Creek.
yeah, Gwen's? I was told that the people from the courthouse to Main Street Express were at times 10 deep. And that one of the floats went by and said they had $300 worth of candy and 300 little things to hand out, and they were out of stuff by the time they got to where we were at. So it was a very well attended.
Mhm.
It was 3 or 4 deep over by the scout hall for sure.
Not very many horses this year
Mhm.
and no color guard at the beginning.
So they started putting out a request for people to do that almost a month and a half ago and got zero interest.
It's sad.
Yeah, and usually Keith Smith is one of the driving forces with that, but with him not being able to ride, I don't know that he did anything with that.
I don't know if I ever saw a horse in the parade.
There's two.
At the end.
Mm,
I wasn't there.
I do have one more question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Do we have any timeline for the, I think it was a water line dugout at 5th and Main, south side of the AG Church? It's pretty big dip.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
I was told by Mike that the dollar store people said they would pave that
Mhm.
when they're paving their lot.
Yep,
Do we know, do we have a timeline on that?
I do not. I know that the curbs are filled and that the lot, it's
They've
got to
been
be,
working on it every day.
Yeah.
I
I
tried to.
mean,
keep
people,
it in
unfortunately,
the
people are
day,
starting
they
to go
were
around
out
there
ready.
through your parking
I
lot.
would say before your next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surprised if it's-
because they do have the grade is shot and it's smooth down there, and with the gutters in, the curbs and gutters in, they've got the grade by which they're gonna be pouring asphalt, so they gotta be close. And it wouldn't surprise me to see them team up with Bowling Construction to have all the asphalt done at one time.
That'd be
when
smart.
Someone's coming to town rather than running back and forth.
Do we have any kind of tentative open? I've been, no, okay.
I heard August a few
August
weeks
was
ago,
what
but
was on
Yeah.
our website, so.
Well, and I will say, I ended up, when I was in California, talking to a president of a chamber of commerce. I just happened to be in the same coffee shop as her one morning. And she was very gregarious and hit me up for conversation. And they have a Dollar General in one of the 3 communities that are part of, it's a regional port authority. It isn't a city port authority. So it's Port Authority and Chamber together. Did I say Port Authority? It's a regional chamber. I believe they're starting a regional Port Authority. But basically, the area is about from here to Dutton with about as many people as between Choteau and Dutton. And they got a Dollar General, and they have found that it actually keeps people in town, and more people and more tourists are spending their money there rather than going to the larger cities that are 30, 40 miles away. So she and I had a good long discussion about it. She also asked for our chamber president's information, whom I gave it to her because why not? You know?
Yeah,
But it was really neat to see how another small town up in the mountains that, you know, has tourist traffic through most of the time, they aren't there to stop. It isn't a stopping point, it's a through point, how they're doing things and what's getting people to stop and spend money and spend time in their towns. So,
Cool.
yeah.
That, it's business.
Mhm.
It's another anchor in our community, or it's Mother Nature, or whatever, like laws of business, we'll figure it out. We'll get it all worked out. Hail, we did not receive any damage to any city property throughout the hailstorm that I was made aware of. Well, the country club took a beating, several homes up on the country club got dumped pretty good. The moisture was much needed, could have been done without the white combine. Have done some correspondence to Department of Commerce, a letter to the Rocky Mountain Front Farmers Market. The Milwaukee Land. What's it called? Milwaukee Land Subdivision, Land Company's addition to the town site show. We were asked about that again, because we had not responded, but in reading through the documentation, our only response was if we did not agree with it. We agree that it's still a valid subdivision within the city limits of the city of Choteau.
And which one
Which
is
one's the
the-
Milwaukee land?
The one on south end of town, south of 7th.
South of
Pig
what's
Alley. Yeah.
known as Pig Alley?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did not respond to that.
And, sorry, say it one more time so I'm clear on it. So we didn't have to respond if we agree that it's still valid.
Yes.
Okay.
The way the letter was phrased, and I followed up with it today. No, the way the letter is phrased, that we only have to respond if we disagreed with what the findings were. And our findings are that, which our records still support, that it is a valid subdivision plotted
Within the city limits.
within the city limits, yes. The usual, we've had a couple of dog complaints. One that they did sign a complaint form on, and I'm working with the city judge to get a citation issued, and I'm going to take the first citations for the dog complaints and bring them here to me, because rather than send them to the city, up to the judge, and see if we can't lighten that up. But if it's a second offense or something along those lines, it will go to the judge. Very few fireworks complaints that I was aware of.
There were a few that started a little early, and from what I saw online, a few that went a little late past the 4th, but
The one that I got several of is, do we really need it till 2 o'clock in the morning?
That would be the largest complaint we got too. Do we need until 2 o'clock in
I
the
thought
morning?
they quit. I mean, I really didn't hear too many.
there were a few down on the
long.
south side that I heard
Mhm.
like before,
Yeah.
kind of by the mini park or somewhere in that
Those
area.
who
We're
have-
coming into those 4th of July's in the middle of the week here in the next couple.
Oh, I know.
Only gonna
The fire department guys had one response Saturday night. Other than that, their call volume has remained low. It was a difficult decision for the fire department. I was to sit down and make the call to cancel those fireworks. Not an easy one. But in the interest of safety to those guys, timelines and open electrical connections laying around in the mud, it was decided not to. We're trying to figure out a way so that wouldn't happen again, whether it would be trailer mount them or have a concrete pad up there that they could use that we could clean off or something, but in and of the same, it was a tough decision and I apologize for that. With the addition of a person in my office out at the insurance agency, I'm trying to be much to the chagrin of these three down here a little bit more often to get things done. I was down here today for quite a while and I got absolutely nothing done because the phone kept ringing. We are into fiscal year 22, 23. I'm happy with the way that one closed out and looking forward to wrapping up wastewater and moving into water delivery. Shauna, Levi, you guys anything for the good of the order tonight?
One more thing, sorry.
Go ahead, Councilman D.
Lions Club is now selling triple
I
one
saw
tickets for the pool.
I've been hit up for my non-winning ticket again already, so.
They're available on our website. You can go on our Facebook page and find a link there.
I saw my
Talk to
name on
Lions
the
Club
mailing
member.
list.
Mhm, mhm.
So, Lions Club Golf Tournament this weekend.
No, next.
Next weekend,
weekend.
sorry. This weekend is Fairfield Swim Days.
Yes.
So get out and enjoy our sister community. I was over to Dutton last weekend for their, some of the fun day events over there too, so.
Brady Days is this weekend too, right?
Is it? I don't know.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it's this week, might be next week.
I gotta get, they're texting me that I gotta get to the,
They have no quorum.
they don't have
without
a
you.
quorum at the city
Oh.
county, at the county planning board meeting. So
Okay,
I'm
we will,
adjourned.
we will adjourn until 2 August.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
2 August. Oh,
It's
life is
August,
too
lady.
fast, too
I know.
fast.